I've been sitting here for like 20 minutes trying to figure out what should I make a video on. And something that crosses my mind every single day is the concept of the ego. On the surface, the ego might seem as something that's inherently negative to some people because they'll be like, "Oh my God, you think you're this, you're that. Oh my God, you're so egotistical. Why are you acting this way? You're not better than anybody." On the surface, that might be a lot of people's perception, but the ego goes a lot deeper than that, right? I was watching this show called Blue Lock, and I watched the first season, and I've watched the second season, which was the U20, and was basically a show about a guy named Isagi Yoichi. It's like a Japanese anime, and the entire show is essentially talking about ego and the idea of being part of the collective while also being just your individual self. And the show really opened up my eyes to how important the ego is. And I've just been thinking about how this is starting to be integrated into my life nowadays, because I find myself having specific thoughts, sometimes maybe not positive thoughts about people, and wondering as to why I'm going through what I'm going through right now. And then I'll try to go back to that good part of myself and be like, "Oh my God, like this is not a good thing to think about. You should still be hopeful about people and non-negative." But that's not always what you're thinking. What you're thinking is, why am I dealing with this? Why am I going through this? You're not like these people. And I feel like a lot of people in society don't want to recognize when they are different and when they need to take their own lives into their own hands out of their own self-interest. There's this thing in society right now in which it's bad to sort of be selfish, and there's different varying levels of selfishness. There's a selfish guy that'll, let's say, billionaires and trillionaires, whatever, they have all the money in the world and all they do is buy super yachts. That's super selfish. But the guy, the man or the woman that wants to progress their life and make the life that they want to make, right? Whether that's through making money, through status, whatever, you cannot tell that person that they are selfish. They essentially have an ego that is so hell-bent on getting what they want, they won't allow anybody else to get in their way. And that's what I believe for right now, at least me, I need to be implementing and have been implementing into my life. And why do I say this? There's certain people within society that don't have certain things, just like I don't have certain things that other people don't have, vice versa. But if you're trying to come up and you come from nothing, I come from nothing, right? So my ego has to be a little bit, especially if I have certain things, I have to kind of get up there a little bit, That's just my opinion. I still want to be, and this is like a vent video, but I still want to be God focused. I still want to be God fearing, but there has to be a sort of way in which I can get to that point while also respecting myself, having boundaries, and being self-centered in a way that I won't let anybody get in the way of my goals, as long as it doesn't hurt other people, right? The ego is important because without the ego, you'll essentially let people walk all over you. Even just thinking about the ego, right? Back then when we were, Neanderthals or like very early human beings, I remember learning in high school that we essentially got smart because we started to cook our food. That want, that need to start cooking your food was an ego-driven decision. We wanted our food to taste a little better. We started experimenting with different spices and fire once we discovered fire, right? Once we discovered how to make it and produce it. That was an ego-driven experience. So essentially, ego is why we're here right now. When you don't like a certain, specific situation, ego is what tells you to leave that situation. But it seems as if I'm coming across people that sort of think they're going out of their way, like putting other people in harm's way or being a nuisance just for maybe wanting better. Like there's this whole thing where a lot of people are saying sorry, or people are saying sorry a lot, and I don't know how to explain this. I'm kind of just ranting here, but It's really weird. I'm just starting to see how a lot of people act, and this is how society engineers you to not want to push to be the person that you want to be and to have the life that you want to have. It all comes from up here. But you need to have at least that little bit of ego that tells you that you deserve what you want. You still got to work for it, but you deserve everything that you want, right? If you want the better life circumstances, you want better relationships within your life, you want to be in a better area that serves you and helps you grow, you need to have the ego to tell yourself, I am better than this. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's literally nothing wrong with that. We've gotten to a point in which life has gotten so hard that we stay in situations. And I believe, because I'm going through it right now, I believe in staying in situations just to build yourself a little bit, just to get stronger. And then you start taking risks and doing shit. I believe in that. What I don't believe in is staying in situations forever just because we feel as if we cannot get better. That's what makes us complacent. The ego is very important. Don't let the ego make you start hating and hurting other people. That's terrible. You're just a bad person. Call it how it is. A spade is a spade. But let the ego allow you to make decisions that will better you as a person and better your life conditions. Because at the end of the day, when someone decides that they are going to do something, they do it for them and they keep on pushing forward. It happens every day, every second of our lives. You just have to be one of those people that have the guts enough to take that stand and stand up for you and what you want. No one else is going to do it for you. You must have the ego to understand where you need to be going if where you are right now isn't where you need to be. And you also need to have the ego to understand the things that are going right in your life so you can use that to better your life. The ego is kind of like yin and yang, right? That negative and that good part of yourself, right? Maybe there's a blur, like the gray line, right, is a little blurry, but there's just a positive and negative side of the ego. Most days you might lean into the negative side, but you want to start to veer a little bit off to the positive side as well, to ground yourself, right? At the end of the day, we're all equal. I would like to think that we all deserve love and respect. But when it's time to make decisions for you, you need to go after those decisions and make them. Because the world is going to keep on moving and spinning without you. During your time here on earth, you might as well make decisions that will better you and your circumstances. Quick little rant. I've just been thinking about me and where my life is going and becoming more hell-bent on getting the life that I want. You guys let me know what you guys think. And if you've watched Blue Lock before, just comment down below how you perceive that show, because I love that show. It's amazing. And I can't wait until they animate the new season. But other than that, I love you guys. Let me know what you think about the concept of the ego. And I'll see you guys in the next one.